What's up, everybody? This is Adam from the 10 Band, a tribute to Pearl Jam, and today I'm going to show you this amazing brand new set of Barton drums. Check it out. So, if you're like me, you spend hours looking at drums online, and you stumbled upon this company called Barton. They look like great drums. All the videos you see online sound like they're great drums, but you're not quite sure. Well, I'm here to tell you I bought this drum kit, and it's an amazing kit. Barton is the real deal. By the way, nobody's paying me to make this video. I'm just really that excited to share this kit with you. So here's how I ended up getting it. I was looking for a black and gold drum kit because I'm getting involved with a project that has a Pittsburgh theme, and it's kind of a retro sound to it. So my first thought was I need to get a Ludwig in black and gold Duco finish, that old classic Ludwig look. Well, the problem is Ludwig does not make that color anymore, so I'm looking all over online, can't find that Ludwig, but I did come across this Barton in black and gold Duco, the exact finish, and it actually looks like a Ludwig, but I didn't know much about Barton. Also, this drum kit is a beech shell, not a maple shell, so I didn't know anything about beechwood drums either. Well, turns out the drum kit happened to be for sale in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I got in the car, drove to this drum store, had to hear this for myself, and it totally blew me away. I bought this thing. The first thing I did when I sat down at this kit was I hit the floor tom. And you're probably not going to be able to hear what I'm hearing because I'm recording this on my phone. But when you listen to this floor tom, first, there's some volume to this thing. I don't know if you hear it on the video, but if you're in the room, there's some volume to this floor tom. It almost sounds like it's mic'd. Another thing I absolutely love about this floor tom is that it shuts up. It doesn't have that sustain that just lasts on and on and on. This is the factory head. There's no tape on it, no moon gel, nothing. And it actually shuts up when you hit it. I absolutely hate trying to tune a 16-inch floor tom because 16-inch floor toms have that sustain that you can't get out. That's why I actually prefer playing a 15-inch or even a 14-inch. An 18-inch is easier to tune than a 16-inch floor tom because of that sustain. But this Barton 16-inch floor tom in beechwood does not have that problem. And I'm guessing the beechwood has a lot to do with that. What I'm finding in this kit is the beechwood is much more similar to a mahogany kit than it is to a maple kit. It's got those deep tones, really nice low-end tones out of these drums. So the floor tom just blew me away as soon as I hit it one time. Here is the rack tom. This is 13 inches, and I'm not quite used to this. I'm used to playing a 12-inch rack tom, but this thing I'm loving because it's very versatile. You can tune it a little higher to get that 12-inch sound, or you can go a little lower for your 14 kind of John Bonham sound out of a rack tom. I will say the 13-inch rack sounds more like a 14 than a 12. A 13-inch drum is a big drum, not a small drum. But this thing sounds great too. Same thing. It shuts up. Factory head, nothing on it. In fact, I'm going to take this kit out on a gig in a few weeks, and I'm going to leave the factory heads on them. Anytime I buy a new kit, the first thing I do is take off the factory heads and put some good heads on. But these things sound amazing. So definitely leaving these heads on. This 13-inch tom is free-floating. It is not mounted to a tom, which I also really like because when you mount these rack toms to a cymbal stand, anytime you hit it, you're going to hear that cymbal vibrate and ring into a microphone if it's mic'd. So this thing is just isolated on its own. There's not a lot of hardware on it. Great sounding drums. I'm blown away by the toms, and then of course, I mean, it sounds like a much bigger drum than it is. This is a 22-inch kick, although it sounds like a 26, like a John Bonham drum, bass drum. Same thing, factory head. This is the only head I might change just because I don't want to kick a hole through it. It's a thin factory head, but it sounds so good. I think I'm going to leave that on as well. I prefer a heavier, a thicker bass drum head But, you know, sometimes that can suck all the echo out. It can suck all the emotion out of a bass drum. This thing speaks to you. If you really want to know what this bass drum sounds like, go listen to White Room by Cream. Because in that song, the bass drum is like way too loud in the mix. It sounds great, and it's Ginger Baker playing it, so it obviously sounds great. But especially at the end of the song when the guitar solo is fading, it's like all bass drum in the mix, and you hear that big open sound with just the right amount of echo. It sounds just like this Barton 22-inch kick in Beechwood. Another great thing about this drum set was the price tag. I paid $1,100 for the shell pack, bass drum, rack tom, floor tom. Did not come with a snare, although the guy that sold it to me told me that Barton snare drums are just as amazing, so I'm really looking forward to getting a Barton snare. But $1,100 for these 3 drums. I don't think you can find another drum set that sounds this good for $1,100. There are some really nice affordable drum sets out there. If you're a DW player, the DW Performance sounds very nice if you don't want to get the Collector Series for all that money. The Performance Series is a great sounding kit for a good price, although it's going to be more expensive than the Barton. Obviously, a Yamaha Stage Custom is just a great sounding kit for a great price, although I don't think I would take that kit out on a gig. This thing, I told you, in a couple weeks, I'm going to gig with this thing. It's probably the least expensive kit that I'd feel comfortable taking out for a gig. In fact, not just comfortable, I'm enthusiastic to take this out into a big room and get it mic'd up. I think it's going to sound phenomenal. So you can't beat this price.